next we can move forward to Art Factory. So another really great design from Brickster. This is his third model in BDP. And this model, what it shows is kind of, it's a three-story downtown loft or kind of warehouse type building that has been renovated into an art district. You would see this kind of pretty indicative in areas like in New York, where we had some more industrial areas that have been converted over to commercial. And what's really cool about this model is not only does it capture that style, that architectural style, but it also has some really cool functionality built in with it as well. You'll see there's the working elevator that goes, so it's really important that all the minifigures have access to each of the floors. And one of the ways that we can do that with this model is that there is a working elevator. Now it has the perfect amount of tension on it, so when you wind it and go between floor to floor, it will stop no matter where you are. God forbid anything happens, there's rubber bumpers at the bottom to stop the elevator from coming down.
There's a question about why the original design was changed from the baseplate. It was on a baseplate before.
This model has only ever existed in this horizontal building, studs on side style building. This model was submitted to Lego Ideas, I believe, back in 2021 or 22, somewhere in that time frame. And I believe at that time it had a base plate, but as long as it's ever been submitted to BDP, it has not had a base plate. It's always been this style. And that's a great question though, because one of the really cool things that we get because of this sideways building is that it allows us to incorporate a lot more detail. So for example, these grates here, you can see this would be very difficult to achieve. And then all of the different layering and different heights, it's a little bit harder to do when you're just building studs up to get the same curvature and smoothness with, you're typically only limited to tiles. Whereas by building sideways like this, it gives you a bunch of different options for how to build.
Someone asked, can you get this on lego.com?
Yes, you can, but that is only for checking out. So what you need to do is go to BrickLink.com, and that will allow you, if you go to the product detail pages for BrickLink Designer Program, you will find a link, and that link will take you to lego.com to check out.
Are they available right now?
Yes, and so these sets are available through, I believe it is Monday at noon Pacific time. So that's the 13th. And so they're available. So these went on sale on October 6th. They're available all the way through October 13th. And then after that, they will no longer be available. All of these models are pre-production, and so you are pre-ordering these designs. As soon as we get all the orders in, we will go and manufacture all of these sets. So roughly late February, March timeframe is when these orders will be sent to customers. So a couple different cool things as you go through this model. On the inside, you'll see it is a celebration of all things art, or a couple different examples of art. And so throughout the model, on the third floor there, you'll see there's a photography studio where a photographer is taking photos. We have a painter studio and all of the different accessories needed to be painting. One of the cool things too is that there is a blank canvas up here, and then included as an extra is a fully painted painting. So you can kind of go between, are they just starting to work, or have they already finished their masterpiece? There is a ballet studio down here on this floor. that has a couple different things going on. One of the things that is unique about this area is, if you can see on this back wall here, there is a mirrored sticker. So kind of like what you would expect to see in a dance studio, is you'll have the full length mirror. And then we have a recording studio here with a full grand piano. This build is absolutely incredible for how you achieved that much detail in such a small space. And then there's also a couple different, there's a guitar also included, there's a violin, and then an upright bass. So a lot of very cool instruments included as well. And then if we go to the first floor, or I guess as you would say in Europe, the ground floor, there is the art gallery. And so you'll have a couple different options for the art gallery and how you want to lay things out. One of the cool features of this is that because this model does close up, there are these wall panels here that can fold out and then fill up the space should you want to enclose the model. So if I flip this around here, you can see then that wall is now closed instead of being a pass-through. So it offers a little bit of flexibility for how you would like to set up the model. And then there's clips you can see on the outside here. This clip sticking out here, or this bar connection, and then a clip buried in a wall over here. That allows, when you bring the model together, that it can actually clip and snap into place.
Someone is asking what's the reasoning for the shipping being so late? Or
the shipping being late for...
Or just the crowdfunding. Like why is it crowdfunded and then shipping in February? Just explain that a little bit more.
Okay, so what we do with BDP, so BDP sets are made to order. So therefore, what that means is that typically when you purchase a normal Lego set, all of the manufacturing has been done ahead of time before the model has been announced. And when you're able to go and place an order for those sets. We do it a little bit differently because these are smaller demand, lower quantity runs. What we will do is we will run the exact number and plus a little bit extra for safety stock and lost and damaged shipping orders and that kind of thing. But we will produce exactly as many that we need. And what that does is it allows us to do smaller production runs where selling 10,000 sets makes sense from a production standpoint. But because of that, it does take it takes about a month and some change to make sure that we have the correct amount of elements and that everything is set up properly. As for the scheduling to manufacture the sets, there's a couple months allocated to manufacturing the sets themselves and then getting those out to customers. So what you'll see is as soon as sets have been manufactured, they go out direct to consumers. And so you'll see sets typically, the launch date for this set will be March 1st, but you'll typically see as soon as they come off the production line and they're ready, and that's going to be mid-February, we're essentially sending those out as soon as possible. So that 5 months that you're waiting, it seems like a lot, but it is actually quite short in the entire development process for a Lego model.
Someone's asking, are these genuine Lego parts?
Yep. So all of these sets, so BrickLink is owned by the Lego Group. All of these sets are manufactured by the Lego Group in the same production lines. All of the elements are manufactured exact same way. They are essentially indistinguishable from a typical Lego set, outside of the fact that these models were not designed by a Lego model designer. They were designed by fan designers. Outside of that, they're exactly the same. So
someone's asking what is used for the windows.
Oh, so these windows, this is a really, really cool part usage. So you might recognize those as garage door panels. So if you think back to, I think it was the 80s and 90s. I know I had them in my childhood sets. They are the rolling garage door panels, and they are turned on their side and they are able to occupy. So from the back side here, you can see They are slotted into that space, and that's what holds them into place. But it gives them that very industrial looking window. All right, so on the base here, one of the really cool things that's built into this model is these storage containers. So this is one of the changes that we made on this model working with the fan designer. And the fan designer came up with this change, and it's quite brilliant. Each of these 3 panels come out, and what they do is they act as storage for each of the individual sculptures and paintings and different things that are included with the model. So what this does is allow you to change out the art in your gallery if you would like. There's a lot of different types of art that's included to suit your needs here. And then some fun Easter eggs. For example, here there is a little apartment for the rat that lives in the sewers underneath the building. And what you can see here is one cool kind of feature of this is the statues and artwork displays themselves are what lock these storage trays in place. So the actual bases of these are, as they snap into the model, that prevents them from coming out. So it's kind of a neat little feature. But you'll see there's this little tunnel here that comes through. And if we flip the model around and we go to the other side, what you can see is again a nice little feature of what you can do when you build studs on the side. This feature of Sidewalk comes out, and then there you have. So some fun little features there with some things you couldn't do if you were just building on a base plate and stacking tile. Oh, all right. If we get up to the top real quick, we'll go up to the top. There is the crane for hoisting in artwork all the way up to the top if need be. If you open this up, there is some artwork inside. And then there's a little bit of a gala going on top of the building. So where all of the denizens of the building are hanging out after hours.